Good morning, students of class 10th. In the previous video, we have discussed about the functions of the Zilla Parishad, and now today we are going to discuss about the steps that have been taken by the government for strengthening the Indian democracy, right? So today we are going to study about the steps taken for strengthening Indian democracy. Right. So let us discuss. Democracy in India has evolved extremely successfully. Certain steps which were taken, like the formation of the state, the language policy and the center-state relationship, have been a classic example of a dynamic democracy under which accommodated the needs of the population and the adapted itself with changing times. Let us see these highlights of a democracy. So there are different highlights which are taken by the government time to time, so that the democracy within the state, within the country as a whole, can be more strengthened, right? So it can be strengthened in different ways. So let us discuss about that today. So first of all, let us discuss about the formation of the state, right? So the first step is your formation of the state, or rather it will be states, right? See, we know that at the time of independence of India, the country was divided into two type of categories basically. Some were the princely states and the other were the British India, right? Other was a part of the British India. So when India became independent, the British India already came under the Union of India, but the country was also divided into many princely states, and the princely states were later on convinced to be a part of India, whether it was Jammu Kashmir, it was Hyderabad, there was Junagadh state, right, which was earlier or later joined within India, within the Union of India, right, by different ways. So when India attained independence of the country, was a group of tiny independent states under which rule of many smaller kingdoms were controlled. The efforts of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel in unifying the princely states under the Indian Union was commendable, because it was Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel only, under whose visionary leadership that our country was unified, right? But after the unification came the need to carve India into a state which were based on regions having linguistic and cultural commonalities. If you look at the map of India in the early years of independence, you shall find it very different from the map today. The philosophy behind the alignment of the state boundaries was ensured that the people with common culture and language should be governed by a uniform set of policies, because earlier the states were on the basis of religious or cultural beliefs, right? And on those religious and cultural beliefs the states were formed, and when that happened, that the states were formed on the religious and the cultural beliefs, the boundaries of the states were very small, right? And in the recent years, with the rapid advancement in technology and advancement of infrastructure, mixing of culture has taken place. People travel to different parts of the world in search of education, employment, trade and tourism. They have begun to realize that while culture is inherited, values are important, there is much more to gain by having a multilingual, multicultural outlook, right? So the states that were formed earlier were smaller, and after the independence the states were formed which were in a larger number, area of the states were larger, right. Now after independence many of the big states were formed, like there was Uttar Pradesh, a big one, there was Punjab, there was Tamil Nadu, there was Andhra Pradesh, right. Later on many states were carved out of an other state, right. Earlier, you might not be knowing this, that earlier there was a state of Bihar, and from the Bihar state a separate state was formed known as today by the name of Jharkhand. One more state, there was MP, Madhya Pradesh, and the Madhya Pradesh was also divided into two states, that was Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh. That was Chhattisgarh and MP, right. And in the case of Bihar it was Jharkhand and Bihar. The Uttar Pradesh, our state, our own state Uttar Pradesh has also been divided after independence. Earlier the Uttar Pradesh was a single state, but after some time near about 2000, around the year 2000, it was divided into two states, that was Uttarakhand and UP, right. So these are the states that have been formed, and similarly Telangana is also a state that is carved out of Andhra Pradesh, right. So out of Andhra Pradesh the states that have been formed are Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, right. Why is that so? The problem is, why is that so? That the state have to be carved out of any other state. Why is there such a situation? ऐसा क्यों होता है? Right. So it is because the states, the people living in the state want more representation and more autonomy in case of political beliefs, right. They want that the culture should be flourished, and the culture can be flourished only when they are given more autonomy, right. So the carving out of states is such procedure only, okay. The growing population has started to feel that the government of larger state are unable to reach down to the people, and therefore there is carving out of states, that from one state different states are formed. Next is your language policy, right. Next is your language policy. Now what is the language policy? Language policy में क्या है? In the language policy, the Indian state was divided earlier on the basis of language, right. The states were earlier divided on the basis of languages, right. India had a very mixed population of different castes, communities, religious and cultures. The diversification of language and dialects even within the short distances, right. That in India there is diversification in case of culture, religion, traditions, but there is more diversification in the case of languages, because there is a language and then there is dialect, right. For example, the Punjabi dialect in Amritsar is different from the Punjabi dialect in Ludhiana and Hoshiarpur, right. Because dialect को हम हिंदी में बोलते हैं बोली, right, means किसी भी लैंग्वेज को प्रोनाउंस करने का तरीका, लैंग्वेज सेम है बट प्रोनाउंस करने का तरीका अलग अलग हो सकता है, एंड दैट इज नोन एज बोली, राइट. सो लाइक वी आर in the area of Uttar Pradesh where Hindi is spoken, and in the area of the Banaras side also there is Hindi spoken, but the dialect that we speak here and the dialect which is spoken in the Banaras area or the Varanasi area is different, right. Both are speaking Hindi, but the way of speaking is different, and that is dialect, okay. So for the time a child is born, the first language learned is the mother tongue. The first language that is born by a person is a mother tongue. When a person is born, the first language which he speaks. It is natural that a strong affinity and identity with this language is an indicator of the bond shared with the family and community. It is therefore understandable that people want to maintain linguistic bonds, right? Because a person have a bond with a language, the first language which he spoke is called as a mother tongue, and when that is so, the language also creates a bond. Makers of the Indian Constitution were sensitive to this issue, because that is why they haven't imposed a single language as a national language, right? There is no national language of India right now, because of this reason only, that we are respecting all the languages and we are sensitive towards that, because the people have a bonding with the language, right? Makers of the Indian Constitution were sensitive to the issue of ensuring and protecting the linguistic identity of people. Hindi was identified as the official language. I would say it again that Hindi is not the नेशनल लैंग्वेज ऑफ इंडिया, इट इज़ द ऑफिशियल लैंग्वेज. अगर हम हिंदी में बात करें तो हिंदी हमारे देश की राज्य भाषा है, राष्ट्रीय भाषा हमारे देश की अभी कोई भी नहीं है, राइट? हमारी क्या है? राज्य भाषा है, विच वॉज स्पोकन बाय nearly 40% of the population at the time. Yet the constitution did not give the status of a national language. It is our official language. Hindi is our official language, not a national language. Instead to elevate any regional features that a language was being thrust on them, the Indian Constitution recognized 21 language beside Hindi as scheduled language, right? So now at the present time there are 22 scheduled languages in India, right? And all of them are at par with Hindi language. Okay. Instead to elevate any regional fears in the constitution, 22 languages are adopted. Thus there was enough freedom for the people to retain their linguistic identity and diversity within the Union of India. Citizens of India thus got the right to pursue the language of their choice and follow it, right? Okay, so students, I hope you would have understood the topic, the strengthening of democracy in India. There is one topic left, that is the center-state relationship, about which we will cover in the next video and our topic will be complete, right? So we will meet in the next video. Till then, stay at your homes and stay safe. Thank you.